Yep, still avoiding the modern day. Trust me, I'm not against today's stupid controversies. In fact, I love them so much, I've developed a bit of a fetish towards them. Yeah, you dirty game, I'ma bang you so hard Anyway, yeah, we're still in the 80s, and today's choice is probably the first big controversy. And by big, I mean big. Quick story. In 1876, the Native Americans and the American settlers decided that they didn't like each other much and started a big battle known as the Battle of Little Bighorn. The natives were led by Crazy Horse and Chief Gull, while the Americans were under the leadership of General George Armstrong Custer. The outcome looked bleak and inevitable, but Custer assured his men that with wit, power, and determination, they would be able to get back their stolen land and lead America further west to a bigger and better life. The result, the natives kicked their American ass, Custer got his head blown off, and the settlers lost half their army in what became one of the biggest screw-ups in the American military. Yeesh. Despite this, Custer was regarded as a hero for the military. Well, until they confirmed a few years later that the dude was indeed a freaking idiot. So what does this have to do with today's topic? Well, as dumb as he was, he inspired many, including a pornographic game company called Mystique. They were one of the outrageously numerous odd bunch of sex offenders that used porn to sell their games, and the Perps were a subsidiary of Caballero Control Corporation, a big-headed company that produced, what else? Porn. Yeah, these were the Atari days before anyone knew any better. Well, before most knew any better. One of the terrible games they shot out of their infertile cock brains was released for the Atari 2600 in 1982 and was based off Custer's Crazy Day. This was Custer's Revenge, and it caused a super sexy controversy. Never gonna give you up. So, what the hell is this? Well, like Punch-Out, I decided to file Custer's Revenge under a special category of game controversy specifically for games that cause such due to its sexual nature. I also call them sextroversies, which sounds like a game causing 6 consecutive controversies, but that's entirely coincidental. Anyway, Custer's Revenge is your average Atari porn game. It involves you navigating Custer, who's got a massive hat, across the area to bang the big boob lady attached to the green thing that's apparently a cactus but looks more like a creeper without a face. You get points for banging, but get hit by the random arrows, and Custer's hat droops more than Droopy at a homeless dog shop that's on fire. Okay, can't really see why this caused controversy. Maybe I need another description. Let's see what the back of the game has to say. Yeehaw! You are General Custer. Your dander's up, your pistol's waving. You got your sights on a ravishing maiden named Revenge, but she's not about to take a line down by George. Help is on the way. If you're to get to Revenge, you have to master the challenge. Dodge a tribe of flying arrows and protect your flanks against some downright mean and prickly cactus. But if you can stand put and last past the things and arrows, you can stand last. Remember, revenge is sweet. Every time old Custer scores, he comes up a smiling and right back for more. The higher the score, the more challenging the game action gets. Oh, okay, so pretty much what I said before, except now they're implying that the sex isn't consensual. Okay, boys, bring in the controversy! So, Custer's Revenge managed to piss off quite a load of people. Women's rights groups, Native Americans, wives of the stupid husbands who bought this game, and even fellow game developers. It was called the usual words: sick, disgusting, not sexy at all, yada yada yada. And it was even banned in a few cities across the country. I dare someone to bring the game into Oklahoma City. You have my special permission to do so. And if you somehow get arrested, well, sorry. It got even more extreme due to the winner of Dumbass of the Year 1983, Andrea Dworkin, who said it caused subsequent rape incidents on Native American women. Whew. Thank God for osteoarthritis. Thankfully, this was about the time the realization that no one cared anymore loomed over the topic. Holy crap, history in the making. So since this was the early 80s, this stuff makes total sense. However, let's take a closer look at it. Look at what's going on here. The lady is actually smiling. Yeah, smiling. Who smiles when they're getting raped? That's like frowning when you get a Life Achievement Award for the best idea in history, something Mystique was far from getting. And look at the cover. The woman looks like she's in heaven. Realizing how wonderful it feels to have a dude like Custer inside of her, wanting more and more as the minutes pass, and just when she thinks it can't get any better, she finally... Whoops, lost my train of thought for a second, sorry about that. Mystique was put in a bit of a tight space with all this crap happening, and like any cowering mouse, they attempted to fix it. The first thing they did was sell the game in a velvet case, label it "Not for sale to minors," and tell people to tell their kids or angry wives if they happen to get caught playing that the two were just dancing. Of course, what they call dancing, we call jumbled mix of pixels that somehow represent sex. And having the cartridge in the velvet case labeled "Not for sale to minors" will most likely provoke said minors instead of the single lonely pedophiles that bought this crap. The next thing they did was tell everyone that their job is to entertain, not arouse. Yeah, like this game would arouse someone other than General Hat-on. And you're not helping your case if you're flat out saying that you find rape entertaining. And their last ditch effort was to show the game to a group of Native American women. Okay, forget sarcastic remarks, that's just stupid. As much as I'd like to keep tearing into this bid like a Christmas present I didn't want, there's not much of a point in doing so if the developer is dead. Thank God for the video game crash of 1983. Besides, they sold 80,000 copies of the game, which is a hell of a lot for 1982. Oh, piss off. Now it's almost that time again, kiddies, where I assign the controversy a score by upending its spine and counting the number of vertebrae. You know, to see how much backbone it has. But before I do, I need to see how the people of today would possibly perceive it. My personal opinion is good enough, but this time I felt as though I needed a second opinion, so I did an experiment. I have a friend who I believe has no foreknowledge of anything earlier than the PS2, and he's my age, so I let him represent the gaming kids of the day and tried to see if he knew what this game was and what it was about. I first asked him if he knew what an Atari 2600 was. Here was his response. No. Well, off to a great start. Then I showed him footage of the game and told him to tell me what was going on. And despite the screwed up graphics, he recounted every single action of the gameplay footage. The banging, the arrows, the hat, everything. So I'm pretty sure this means that the controversy is very, very relevant to this day. It may have been limited to only America and is still quite primitive, but I gratuitously award this controversy a solid 8 Custer arms out of 10. And now to bury this crap in the ground for many years to come. Oh, by the way, I'm going to Chicago next week, so there won't be any new episodes. Yep, you'll be forced to watch the same 5 episodes over and over and over again for 2 to 3 more weeks.